I don't know if anybody other than me was a fan of the show Arrested Development, but if you are, you might remember Will Arnett's character saying nearly constantly, "I think I've made a huge mistake," which is essentially the theme of our next piyut, V'al kulam. We recount and recite the sins we've committed individually and collectively and recognize the many ways in which we've made huge mistake after huge mistake. But while it's of course vitally important that we seek forgiveness for the pain we have caused to other people and ourselves by our missteps, I'm not sure that forgiveness is the only and certainly not the best way of looking at what we've done wrong in the past year. Making mistakes is a necessary part of growth. We all know this. Carol Dweck, the Stanford psychologist most associated with the growth mindset, points out that nobody looks at a toddler who's stumbling along like a drunken sailor and says, "Look at that kid, he's an idiot, he doesn't even know how to walk." Or a baby who's making nonsense gibberish noises and says, "Look at that kid, he doesn't even know how to talk." We understand, of course, that falling is part of learning how to walk, and babbling is part of learning how to talk. But somehow we think that once we become 13 or 18 or 25 or 45, at some point we become fully formed and we shouldn't be making mistakes like that anymore. In fact, though, we need to be making those mistakes, and more importantly, we need to be reflecting on those mistakes so that we can grow. If we don't think about the mistakes we've made, we're just going to make them again because our mistakes are an outgrowth of our mindset and our internal framework. It's only on reflecting on the mistakes we've made we can come to see the framework we operate on, and perhaps, with a lot of effort and a lot of luck, make some changes to that framework. Cantor Ellen is going to lead us in just a moment in the chanting of the Al Kulam. But as she does, I invite you to conjure some time in the past year when you've really messed up. When you let yourself down, let your colleagues, let someone you love down, just feel like, I did not get that right. And I want to invite you to look back on that moment with some curious compassion. What was going on? Why did you act that way? What were you hoping to accomplish? What prompted that? What might you want to do differently or think about differently next time? After Ellen is done with the davening, we'll hear from Rabbi Carol Davidson on some thoughts about failing and growing from those failures. Carol is the Rabbi Emeritus of BHA, and she just recently moved to Palm Springs, California with her wife, Jody.
על חטא שחטאנו לפניך ביצר הרע, ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך ביודעים ובלא יודעים, ועל כולם אלוהי סליחות, סלח לנו, מחל לנו, כפר לנו. על חטא שחטאנו לפניך בעיניים רמות, ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך בעזות מצח, ועל כולם אלוהי סליחות, סלח לנו, מחל לנו, כפר לנו. ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך בתשומת יד, ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך בתימהון לבב, V'al kulam Elohai salichot Slach lanu mechalanu kaper lanu.
At a regularly scheduled conference call, making a report on some financial numbers, I was flummoxed and couldn't answer the questions. I stuttered, I fumbled, and ultimately I disappointed. No one was as upset as I was. Reflecting on this, I realized that the reason I was upset was not because I looked stupid, not because I didn't know the answers. The reason I felt this was a huge mistake was because I had disappointed the person who counted on me to get this right. I later apologized and apologized and apologized until I realized that that wasn't the point. What I really needed to do was to make sure I was better prepared the next time. I also needed to recognize that the person accepting my apology really meant it. They were over it. I held on to it for a long time to come. But eventually, I released it. I felt okay. I prepared better. I knew what to do. And it was done. The lesson for me was to own it, work on it, accept the resolution, and keep moving forward.